everyone off in good starting order. Stokes leading him around. And we got Kreisig, Mulder, number 4 of Morat, then Koch. We got a bit of a pileup with the car 5. Huge pileup. And who is the big loser in that one? It's the car 8, I think, Van Medevort. Meanwhile, the lead 4 cars, we're going to stick on them because this is it. It's for all of, well, there's no money. Oh, and up on 2 wheels goes Matthew Stokes. And Mark Kreisig almost doing the same exact thing in sympathy. Meanwhile, Mulder and Fabian Morat allowed to pull right up to him. And now Kreisig side by side with Stokes. All of these guys running MCDs. Oh, and Mulder getting a bit sideways. And now stuck in a tire. Tragedy. We're sticking with our lead 3 cars, though. Lead 2 cars, actually. Stokes and Kreisig. Kreisig telling us yesterday, yeah, I'm not really feeling it. I'm old. Yeah, well, this is what age and guile and wisdom can get you. Running second, and it looks like Mulder is out. So there's our first casualty for this one. Heidi Shilcock moving up in that car 0. She's currently running in 6th position, I believe, at the moment. A big beneficiary. It's not too shabby, starting from 0. Let's see where she comes across. These 3 cars way, way out in front. So let's see what kind of lead number 4 has over the number 7. It's almost 8 seconds, 7.5 second lead these guys have. But it's really the story about these 2. Stokes in that bright half yellow, half orange number 1 car. Kreisig in the dark is all really the only way I can describe it. Number 2, both of these MCD machines running just a very small spoiler on the back. No wings allowed, I believe, but obviously allowed to run fully cut out or partially cut out windscreens. And the side windows, rear windows cut open as well. Stokes, a healthy lead now. Shilcock moving up into, well, still running 6 actually. Kreisig getting sideways in that first corner. Nice flat landing over the big jump at the end of the straight. Stokes getting sideways now, letting Kreisig catch up. We might have a battle for the lead here. Remember, this is a 30-minute race. This is basically an endurance race, guys. So no fuel stops allowed. I believe they can stop. Oh, Kreisig has just gone. He's taken out the fence at the end of the back section. That's the car 2. He's still running. He's still in 3rd. Let's go to this battle for 3rd, just coming over the triples. He's lost radio. He's lost his radio at that bit of the track. He has no radio control at all. So another casualty. Okay, so our new battle for 3rd is this here, the 7 and the 9 coming over the first of the doubles. That's our 7 and 9, a battle for 3rd, Hopf and Jimmink. Let's see how that moves things up. So it's Stokes, Morat, Hopf, and Jimmink. Shilcock moves up to 5th. And she's going to have a battle on her hands with Scholing once again. In the car 6 is just behind her. I'm hoping that the battle for 6 is not the closest battle that we've got, but it looks like it might be. Our leader, just coming down the straight now, 2nd place. 25 minutes left. Car 4 has just come down. So yeah, our actually it's a battle for 5th is our closest battle on track. Shilcock just being passed by Scholing as they're coming down the straight, the 6 and the 0. This is one of our closer battles. The other one is immediately ahead of these two. So now they're getting very close together now. I think Kreisig's challenge is done. He's in the pits. So, unfortunately, third place qualifier Mulder and second place qualifier Mark Kreisig taken out just for, not sure why. Well, not taken out, I should say, but definitely just out in general. Our pole position man, Matthew Stokes, going down. He's going to want to keep it rubber side down and keep it steady. And if he can, he's going to take home the victory. 23 minutes left in this one. Kreisig back up onto the rostrum. It looks like body shell's going back on. And as we saw in the last semifinal, anything can happen. Crisis early on, you can come back from it, but of course, to get on the podium as Shilcock rolls it, to get on the podium is going to take some effort here. 23 minutes left. Kreisig with only 5 laps on the board. 23 minutes remaining. So let's see who we're with. We've got the 9, the 6, and the 7 in that order. And then Shilcock has the 5 behind her, but that's a battle for 6th position. Let's move to the second of the doubles, and this is our battle for 3rd, the 9 and the 6. So we have the orange and black truck, followed by the neon colored number 6. And if these two get any closer together, we're going to have a real battle on our hands. The 7 in almost, well, it's kind of Red Bully colors. Not surprising since it's one of our Swiss racers. He's a couple corners behind. We do have a bit of clumping racing action going on through these doubles now, as we have the 7, the 10, the 5, and the 8. All together, basically, that's a battle for 5th position. Let's drop back to the purple and white car with the yellow tires. These 4 cars are all battling for 5th position, basically. So Heidi Shilcock leading them down the straight. And then we have Daniel Koch, Gertjan van Medevort, and Thomas Hopp. Matthew Stokes still leading away with this one. Mark Kreisig back out on track, but several laps down. And basically, for him, it's going to be a matter of just lay down some consistent times and hope people break. We got the car 8. Oh, very tight racing through that first corner. And again, we've see that number 5 car truck with the loose rear spoiler. That's not a place that we see someone crash very often. Right in the middle between the doubles. Shilcock trying to keep it steady. Heavy pressure from the number 5 of Koch. This is our closest battle on track. So it's what we're following. Matthew Stokes basically leading it away, miles ahead, actually about to put a lap on these two drivers. So we'll see Matthew come up soon enough. We don't want to put additional pressure on the British racer. Of course, Ian Audie having a receiver issue, not an engine issue, a receiver issue, forcing him to stop in his semifinal a couple hours ago, whenever it was. But Matthew Stokes doing it for Britain. Ooh, and Shilcock getting a bad landing, but able to force her way ahead of Daniel. So this one, I think at the moment, a bit of a slow burn. We do have 19 minutes remaining though, so anything can happen. Stokes, Morat, Jimink, Scholing, and Shilcock. Well, actually, it's Shilcock then Scholing at the moment. See if we can find the car 9 of Jimink. Where's he at? He's coming down the straight, and then he's got the 6 of Scholing. I'm getting my Scholings and my Shilcocks mixed up once again. So, okay, so let's go to the tabletop and show some of these other racers in the top 5. So, coming out of the bowl now is the bright orange truck of Kees Jimink, obviously from the Netherlands. Going down the main straight, running, I believe, a Losi, because it's got that full roll cage. I'm curious what the weight penalty of that roll cage is. I'm all for the roll cage and the front and rear bumpers. However, it's heavy. And it's also top heavy as well. So just make it look cool, which is the main benefit of it. Now, if we drop back one car to the Rad Vision Skateboard XS Super Neon tribute scheme of the 80s here. It's the car 6 of Scholing. It's Daniel Scholing. Meanwhile, off camera, Heidi Shilcock has been able to break away from Daniel Koch. So we're on Scholing. Wherever the truck number 4 is. Stay where you are, Jim. Oh, we've got Fabian Morat just going over the first of the doubles. And that's Fabian Morat. And you can tell it's Fabian Morat, not by the number 4, but by the French flag. Very large, emblazoned on the sides, both sides of that truck. That's Fabian Morat in the number 4. And Shilcock must have made a mistake because it has Dan Koch all over the back bumper again. But this is, we're on Fabian Morat coming through the Elcon Elcon, one of our big sponsors this weekend. So thank you very much for providing the coverage for everybody. We hope you're enjoying it. While we have a kind of a slow moment here at the moment. And while we're covering our sponsors, let's go to the main straight and follow Mark Kreisig in the MCD, running for RC Fox, another one of our sponsors. So thank you very much. Mark Kreisig is literally Mr. RC Fox. He runs the whole show there. So thank you very much, Mark, for we want to give RC Fox some additional love. And also, of course, rccaronline.de. So if you're in the Europe area, or especially on mainland Europe, you can check out rc-car-online.de or RC Fox. either one of those. They're both based in Germany and both specialized in RC model racing and hobby stuff. Hobby meaning, you know, not quite racing stuff. Maybe they're like the toy level stuff. That's RC Fox has recently moved into that. So I think that is giving everybody a little bit of love out on track. I think the only one we haven't covered is the number 7 of Thomas Hopp. Just coming over the first double now. You see what I mean? It's just a little bit like it's reminiscent of the Red Bull scheme. Red Bull, of course, the Red Bull Ring based in Austria. Well, it is in Austria. It's not based in Austria. It is in Austria. So this is, Thomas Hopp of Switzerland. I get my Switzerlands and my Austrias mixed up again. I do apologize. But Thomas Hopp here. And so who haven't we covered? I think that is everybody. Unfortunately, we missed Gertjan van Mettevoort. Alex Mulder also breaking out, not running any longer. Breaking out very early as well. Mark Kreisig broke early also, but has come back. I think he had some radio issues. But I was hoping to segue very neatly into our battle between Shilcock and Koch for the our 6th position. Actually 5th position, but it looks like Koch has gotten ahead of Shilcock, and unless she's able to catch up significantly. See if we can get both of these cars, the 0 and the 5, in the Elcon L. That was our battle for 5th. But Shilcock needs to make up 3 or 4 seconds, looks like. Let's see what the actual distance is. It's about 4 seconds. You can see them both now in the triples sort of section, as they've got Fabian Morat in 2nd place, catching up to them fairly rapidly. So this one, like we said earlier, it's an endurance race, so it could all come down to the last few laps, and it probably will, because remember, they're not allowed to refuel. These cars running very, very tight on fuel usually, especially when it's really hot, like we had last year in Austria. Obviously today, quite a lot cooler. We're looking at 21 degrees temperature. So the referees calling blue flags for the racers who are getting caught up and passed by the race leaders. Kreisig taking a weird landing the first double. So we're following the green car, the green truck of Daniel Koch, because if he makes a mistake or rolls it or breaks or something like that, that means Heidi Shilcock is going to be the immediate beneficiary, because she's just a few seconds behind him on track. While we're watching that, let's make a slow transition to our leader, Matthew Stokes. We always have to give our leader a bit of extra attention. Because he is leading it away. And in the chat, just have just a couple of questions about the bodies the requirements. I went over this, I believe it was yesterday, maybe earlier today. Yes, there's some of the bodies, well, one type of body in particular is highly unrealistic. But I don't know about saying anything about 1/10, because I don't think the 1/10 off-road bodies are in any way realistic either. But the only thing realistic about them, especially the cab forward ones, the only thing realistic about them is that they have windscreens and side windows for the quote-unquote drivers. And then if you start looking at truggies, it's even less realistic. At least the low-C bodies are, I think there's no argument from anyone, I don't think. No one can say that they're not the most realistic body shells here. The MCD bodies, at least they have a nod to realism. But yeah, the very aero sort of looking bodies, they're just basically just made for high downforce is their main benefit. With you know how some people say, oh, I really like very, very rare steak, you know, just grab it by the horns and drag it through the kitchen, right? That's what these some of these bodies look like. They've been dragged by the horns through the kitchen and given a nod. But in 10th off-road, there's no, I don't think there's any like written requirement for realism. As long as it looks like a truck, basically, is what these go for. I mean, I'm much more of a scale fan than I am a racing fan, I would say. Oh, Kreisig getting it over on 2 wheels, but he's okay. He's back and rolling. But we're watching our leader, who Kreisig has made up 1 position. He's running 6 laps behind our leader, who is on camera now, Matthew Stokes, in that number 1 truck. And I did see someone earlier say, well, dish wheels should not be allowed. It's like, well, that's all that's made for these guys. You can say that all you want, but no one's making multi-hole, I don't even know what you would call them, like mag-type wheels for these cars, or for these trucks, I should say. So if it's not available, no one's going to run it. I mentioned earlier, if possible, I'd run black wheels and spray them silver at least, so just the lighter color so that you can see which way the wheels are turning. But, you know, there's only so much distance that a racer is going to do to make it look cool. Coolness wins you style points, but it doesn't make you any faster, generally. So 6.5 minutes remaining in this one. We're following our leader, Matthew Stokes from the UK, looking like he's going to be running away with it. I think he's got a full lap on everybody. Where's the number 4 truck? He's about a half a lap ahead of the number 4, Fabian Morat. Fabian himself coming up on the number 10 truck of Heidi Shilcock, also from the UK, starting in 10th position, currently running 6th. Now, that is thanks to a couple of the drivers stopping racing, but it is all on merit. Ooh, and Kreisig getting a bit wobbly coming over the first of the doubles. So there's no real battles happening. Fabian Morat, no one around him to challenge for a podium position. The number 6 truck also no one around, actually has just been lapped, or 3rd place position has just been lapped by Matthew Stokes. But let's give number 6, let's stay with the number 6 as Matthew is coming up on them. Number 6 of Keys Jimink. I think it's got to be one of my favorite paint schemes of the weekend. It's a very 80s, totally rad tubular man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles styling. It's just great. Love it. Very bright as well, so it helps in these dimmer conditions. So the sun has not been directly shining on the track for some time. We do still have dust being kicked up by the tires of all of these vehicles. Hundreds and hundreds of laps by dozens and dozens of buggies and trucks. But not a lot happening as in racing action on this in this particular main final. This is the main final. The 2023 EFRA European Federation of Radio-Controlled Automobiles four-wheel drive short course main final. This is a championship race for the European Championship. Last year's winner, unfortunately, breaking out. That was Ian Audie in his semifinal. Had a bad receiver and unfortunately couldn't take the truck any further. So luckily for Wesley Van Helmond, he was able to dominate his semi-A final. And we'll see him come up in the next race, starting at about 6:05. So in about 10 minutes, we've got 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in this one. Most of these trucks running MCDs. And we have Jimink and Shilcock running Losi. They're the only two running Losi here in the, well, at least in the main finals. Everyone else packing up. Are we on the 4? Can we go to the 4 at the start of the straight, Jim? This is Fabian Morat. I want to make sure and give some love to our podium finishers. We'll follow Fabian for a couple of laps, and then we'll move to Jimink, who's actually, well, just 2 cars behind. Running order is Stokes, Morat, Jimink, Scholing, Koch, Shilcock, Hop, and Kreisig still running. He had an early problem, I think it was with the radio, and it is worth it to keep going, to fix it. And if you can fix it relatively quickly, it is worth it to go out there, because we saw what happened with our four-wheel drive TQ man, Fernie. He was able to, he had a very early problem with the shock. That got popped back on, and then the wing came off, and he just kept driving. Basically running 3 completely different cars because of all those issues. 3 different cars during that final. So Matthew Stokes, if we move to very quickly, where's our number 9 truck? I'm sure we followed Jimink already. There he is in the bright orange. We'll follow him for about a half a lap, or not even that long, because we very quickly want to move to Matthew Stokes, who is just coming out of the Elcon L. Matthew Stokes leading this one from start to finish, coming over the first of the double jumps around the unnamed corner, over the second of the doubles, And making the turn onto the back section, over the tabletop, into the bowl corner. And there he goes. He's already getting applause from the marshals, coming across to take what I believe is going to be his first EFRA European Championship in this category. Congratulations, Matthew Stokes. Fabian Morat taking second position. Jim Inc. taking third. Daniel Scholing. Then it was Koch, Shilcock, Hopf, and Kreisig. And unfortunately for Van Medevort and Mulder, not finishing the main final.